If you've been looking into selling on Amazon, you've probably heard about the Buybox, but what is the Buybox? Do you know what the Buybox is? Well, with Amazon, all of the sellers of a certain product have to share the same listing for that product. So let's say you've got 20 sellers on Amazon that are selling this product. Maybe not that product. Selling this product. You got like 20 sellers on Amazon, right, that are all selling this product. Instead of like, other marketplaces where you might have every single seller creating their own listing, so you'd have 20 listings for the same product from 20 different sellers. On Amazon, everybody who wants to sell this product has to share the same listing. That's very different, and because, I said I used 20 as the example, but sometimes you'd have even more people selling the exact same product. You might have 500 people with 500 listings for that product, whereas on Amazon, it would only be one. Now on Amazon, as a buyer, you might have noticed that usually when you're going to a product that you want to buy, you go to that product and then there's it shows you a price and you hit buy, right? It doesn't show, you don't go to Amazon and then say buy, and then it shows you a massive list of sellers and you're like looking at all the sellers and trying to pick one. You can do that. There's actually a way you can click like view new from other sellers, but you probably haven't done it before, or maybe you have, but most people haven't. The average person buying something on Amazon is just gonna go to Amazon, type in what they want, click on it. Okay, great, that price works, buy, right? That's because Amazon wants the checkout process to be as easy as possible for buyers. So basically, what's happening behind the scenes is you got a bunch of people selling this product, and then Amazon's looking at all of the people, and it's not just based on price, it's mostly based on price. But you've got all these sellers that are selling the same item, and Amazon will say, based on factors of price and the metrics of the store, if they're shipping stuff on time, and they're looking like a pretty good seller, they'll basically sort of use their algorithms to determine, okay, we think that this guy is actually going to be the best seller for this item, so we're going to give him the buy box, which means that when somebody goes to that product on Amazon and hits buy, what they're doing is really buying from that one specific seller that they selected. So having the buy box is great because almost all of your sales on Amazon are going to come through the buy box, a customer going to the product and then hitting buy and it being bought from whoever Amazon has selected to, purchase through. So if somebody's got a product listed for 75 bucks and then another seller's got it listed for 70 bucks, usually the person that's listed it for 70 bucks is probably going to get the sale as long as their metrics are in decent shape. But there can also be other things, like if the person who had listed it for $70, his metrics were drastically worse than the person who's listed it for 75, and 75 was the next cheapest seller, then Amazon might choose the $75 seller over the $70 seller because they thought they were a better seller. And even though the price was a little bit higher, they thought it was a better option for customers because Amazon's very, very customer focused, and they're just trying to provide the best experience to the customers. So even if it's a few cents higher, but it's going to provide a better customer experience, it can be something like that too. It's not only based on price, but that's mostly it. As long as you're on top of your metrics, which you really have to be with Amazon, then it's mostly based on price. So just to recap, having the buy box is when Amazon has selected you as the best seller for a certain listing. So when somebody goes and hits, just goes to that listing and hits buy, they're buying from you. That means that you have the buy box. If you have the buy box, when they go to the listing and they see a price, that's your price, and they hit buy, they're buying from you. The other sellers that don't have the buy box, that are on the same listing as you, basically just have to wait until the buy box gets reevaluated, or maybe they lower their prices to try to take the buy box from you or something like that. Or if they can't lower their prices and you're really lowest price and you're holding that buy box, then they just kind of have to wait in line until you run out of stock or something. You go out of stock, and then that would drop you off the list because you don't have that product available anymore, and then the next person in line is going to get the buy box. Remember how I mentioned earlier that you can actually click and view other sellers that are selling the same item? Well, some customers will do this. This is usually, the people that are really looking for a deal, trying to save every cent, those types of people. So not most customers, but there are a percentage of people that'll do this. So I guess one other thing that I should mention, when you have a new Amazon account, since, like I said, it's based on price and also sort of that account history, when you got a brand new account for the first like 3 months, you don't have much of a selling history. So even if you are the best price, you might still not get chosen for the buy. You very likely will not get chosen for the buy box because, Amazon doesn't really know how you're going to handle your orders and stuff like that. And it'd be easy to just, make a new account and then, really undercut and then get a bunch of sales that you can't fit. It could cause issues if Amazon was just going to give the buy box to brand new sellers. So they kind of hold off for a few months. You can still get it as a brand new seller. There's a common myth going around that you can't get the Amazon buy box as a new seller. It is possible to get. It's just since you're a new seller, you're a lot less likely to get it. But yeah, so particularly, it's hard to get the buy box when you're a brand new seller. It's not impossible, it's just a little bit more difficult. And so one thing that you really do want to do when you're a new seller, even if you're making a little bit less per sale, since it's hard to get the buy box as a new seller, you really do want to like drop your prices a little bit, even if you're only making a little bit per sale. Because if you can be the cheapest price, even though most buyers will just, order from whoever has the buy box, some of those really deal savvy people are going to go and click, see all sellers. They don't care if shipping's a little longer or something like that. And so they will go ahead and they'll order whatever is actually the cheapest. So if you can be the cheapest, you can get sales that way too. It's not a huge percentage of customers, but if you can't have the buy box, if it's a lot harder to get the buy box because you're new, that can be a way to get some sales to just sort of, start you getting some of those initial sales and some sales history on Amazon. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what the buy box is and what you should do as a new seller. Yeah, price low to get those deal savvy people to click on it and then order from you because they don't care. They're not buying from the person who has the buy box. That'll get you some sales initially, and then once your account has aged a little bit, once you've done that for a little while, then you're going to start getting the buy box very easily because you're an established account that Amazon trusts, all that good stuff. And yeah, at that point, you don't actually have to be the lowest price. It can help to get the buy box, but if you can hold the buy box with a higher price, then absolutely do it because then you're making more money.